long are parked on Saturn among its rings. It has motherships which are twice the size of Earth. One will see a clip of the U.S.'s latest efforts of deception with a vehicle that will take some 8 months to reach Mars so they can investigate if there is life possibly to be sustained on Mars. They know they're lying because the super rich of the elitists of Western civilization are already living on Mars. The reptilians are on Mars. There are faces on Mars produced by black civilization, which are at least a half a mile high. There are pyramids on Mars. There are ruins on Mars. Al Belix talks about how he and his brother used to walk back and forth between Mars and Earth using extraterrestrial technology, where it would take them something like 20 minutes to go from here to Mars. They got pulled off of the operation because they made several unauthorized trips, one causing them to be kidnapped by the Syrians and held until the United States returned a piece of technology which it stole from Sirius B. The Zulus came to Earth from Mars during a war we had with the reptilians, and they destroyed Mars's atmosphere.
I believe that too. That's what they're trying to do right here on Earth. It makes sense. It makes damn good sense. So I be watching this because it's like, to me, I don't see it being far-fetched. See, I be telling everybody of my authenticity as a time traveler. It's real serious. I came down here and I've been posted up here, and I was shut off, and I'm not afraid to tell anyone this because I've been reading those ancient Kemetic books about the god Asar, how you be inside of the box and you be protected. And you know, there's things that done happened to me all my life that lets me start to recognize the fact that I am that I am. Because all the bizarre things that's going on, I've always wondered if it was something special about me, especially the rude treatment I get from people. They don't have no justification for being that way. That's why I come out here and tell the whole world about the experiences that I have, because that's exactly what I've been ordained to do. And that's exactly what these intelligent people in the light ships that Sirius B 333 is talking about right now. I've known of these entities of light since I was a small child. If you knew my mother, she'll tell you we always had problems about me telling her about spaceships taking me on rides when I was a little boy. She'll tell you that. She'll say all his life, she'll tell you he's been always telling me that. It got to the point where I got scorned from her. Got scorned so much that I just wrote it off and just shut it off. But I always was traveling every time I go to sleep at night, but I just wasn't telling no one about it anymore. My brother is the same thing. So they don't understand, my family, they don't understand that the reason I open my mouth and say things that I do is because these people in this light ship wants everybody on this planet to get off egoism. They need for everybody on this planet to understand that the circumstances that we are all under are genuine sets of oppression from mastermind oppressors. These people have been oppressing planets and destroying. If you listen to what he's saying, they destroyed Mars, which means that Mars at one time could have been as lush a blue, green, water everywhere planet as the Earth. Now we already can figure out now that the Earth is going through some changes that makes it seem obvious that someone is tampering with the Earth in a deliberate attempt to annihilate all life on it. It shouldn't be hard to see that. It shouldn't be hard to figure out who the people is that's behind doing that. When you see people getting all type of vehicles, conglomerations lined up to go out and murder all the people, it's real easy to know who's doing it. So what I'm trying to get at is that right now, when he mentioned that you could walk from Earth to Mars, using extraterrestrial technology. And then I'm here showing you guys all this stuff that I'm working with. Now see, I want you to understand this is what the problem is with the people on the earth, and especially the melanated people. The melanated people, as well as the melanin recessive people, are all gods and goddesses if you turn your mind on to that. See, you know, all this bullshit I had to go through with people on the earth about judging people off their color and judging people off of their wealth status and all that, you know, before they even getting around to getting a chance to figure out the characteristics of the person or the contents of the character. You don't even get around to that because you're being preconditioned by a society that you're supposed to be selfish, greedy, and non-united, no unity at all. You know, so the shit that went on in the park where the police put the guy in jail for feeding people is a call out from the power structure that wants to control everything, even to the point where you don't have the privilege to practice feeding another person. Okay, now this is not a system of control. I don't know what the hell is. Okay, so now these guys, and probably is the same people who enslaved us melanated people. You know, I mean, seriously consider, they are probably the same people that enslaved us melanated people that now you could find attachment to them being the same people who enslaved the Europeans before. So it's not just that I want to keep repeating the same shit over. What it is that I want people to start putting a centralized, you know, coagulation of all the information that I've been giving at you. Everything about my personal life. And I'm trying to tell you that all that got lunch from someone who deliberately came to this planet and set up circumstances on this planet that can control the mindsets of people and push everybody toward homosexuality, push everybody toward incest, push everybody toward poverty, push everybody toward having an attitude of, I'm all for myself and I don't care about no one else. Push everybody toward an attitude of, with this craziness going on, your biggest concern is to collect materialism. And then show everybody that it's a dog-eat-dog world and it's okay to beat women and that, you know, black people ain't all this foolish. And then wait, along with all that, the same people who gave you all this foolishness in your head and gave you a template by destroying everything that was given to you by your supreme creator. Cut down all the trees and all the fruits and vegetables that was available by nature for you to eat. All that got eradicated and moved away where you couldn't get at it. And so now the only thing you got is their stores. Only thing you got is their stores. And then the problem is that the people on the earth doesn't understand that we are oppressed as a species of human. And the oppressors is non-human. And so when you sit up and think that when I say you got to buy this green light or you're going to get off the planet, and then I show you that I brought this fire with me, and then you got the post office that even if some people out there did try to buy the green light from me, I don't even know because it's so controlled by them that I got to get it through the post office. Or if I go out and set up a system with the bank, it's going to be the same thing. It got to be sent through the bank that I have a card where as soon as they want to turn that damn thing off, they can turn it off. So see, when I tell you my job is to destroy capitalism, it's because of those reasons right there. Now, as bizarre as that job is, because look, we can see capitalism got a whole grip of tanks, trains, locomotives, police. All right, they own all the grocery stores, just like I said. They own the automobile dealerships, all the jobs, okay? The police force, the military, all right? The governments all over the planet, all working together, which is the corporations are the people that I'm telling you right now I have come to this earth to point out to the world through that foolish belief in that Christian shit and that Islam, just like what Morris Donaldson is saying too, the same thing he's saying. And I'm telling you, just like he's showing you proof of there being a black federation, I'm telling you, not only am I a part of that federation, I am a high-ranking official of that federation. So you better stop looking at me as a personification if you see me out there trying to sell those oils and all the things that I have to do, because my substantiation is way greater than you could ever imagine, because I know that I am the sun. I know that. And I know that the sun that's right immediately at my availability is so great that it can burn up every person on this planet, including you. All right, and I say that because that's the most important person you should worry about getting burnt up, which is I. And I know that. So you got to see how that you and I should go together like that constantly. And that's why I say to you, it's up to you and I to show that son who sent me here to talk to you that I'm getting through, because people is willing to pay homage to the son and say to it, I recognize now what has been going on. We've been tricked by these people, and these people they got tanks now and guns and guillotines, and they tampering with the food, and they fucked up the water, and they did make everybody hate each other and turn against each other, and they do all the restaurants that we all run in to eat now. So it would make sense to mess up all the food available everywhere else, and then force you to run into their stores and get your food, and run into their jack off in the boxes and everything, and eat in there too. So if you can understand what I'm saying to you, your brain should be more powerful than TV and the commercialism that they done locked everybody down with and made you a foolish ass consumer. Now see, I don't have to use profanity when I talk to people. I don't, because I don't walk around in the streets if I'm out on a job interview and stuff like that using all the profanity that you find me using on my YouTube page. But the anger is necessary. You see, when you sit around here and you have circumstances where you can watch decadence, and you know people can do something about the decadence, and they just sit around and with deliberate intent act as if I don't give a hell, it's not my problem, I'm eating. And it's like, see, you're supposed to be a god and a goddess. You're supposed to be wise enough to know that if it's over there, in this decadence over there, eventually it's got to reach me. There's no way I can sit around and see the decay on the toe, and then I'm in the ankle area, and I see my toe starting to decay right around the nail. I got a badass fungus right there. Well, the way the human body works is that your body being wise enough to know to eradicate decay as soon as it's observable or felt, is going to get right on it. You're going to get a pain that's going to say, listen, you're not going to overlook this. You're not going to. But see, the mental mind, it's got so many different paradigms of thought and so many complicated different ways that it acts, that if it's something that's distracting you and there's not a physical alertment that'll make you where it can't be ignored, you ignore it. Because like I say, it's not your problem right now. You done got yourself so attached from the real reality of a person is a person only because there are people. So when you see another person dying and being executed and hanged and not given jobs and decaying with drug addiction and alcohol and drinking beer and everything that's going to kill someone, and you're supposed to be a responsible God, and you didn't tell the people that you're a God, so why would you say you're a God and then sit back and see that type of shit going on and don't address the people and try to warn them about it and try to get help like I do with this man right here? Because I'm going to tell you, all this stuff that I'm telling you about all these light entities that we see as these spaceships flying around, because what they are is emanations of supreme wisdom that made the sun, and the sun is a big caliber of that supreme wisdom. It has governed everything in this universe right now. And you know, the thing about it is that it can make manifestations from thought. When you listen to what I've been putting up here, the reason why I keep putting this up here is because it's true information about how our universe actually works. Okay, that's exactly what it is. All thought waves are powerful waves, just like the waves of electrical flow that run through the wires and produce electricity to whatever load is at the end of it. What I mean by whatever load is another thought manifestation. See, somebody said, you know what, if I made this, let's see. And then they went out there and they did it and they made it. Well, when they brought it to be, since they brought it to be in the realm of electromagnetism that we all are encompassed in, it needed to work off of that functional system of inducement, or that functional arrangement of power. In this case, it's electricity that we use all in houses. It's electricity that runs through our bodies. It's electricity that runs through our cars. Everything that we fabricate